Patricia Krenwinkel, California Institution for Women. Once under the death penalty, this fascinating woman was affected by the U.S. Supreme Court's decision to stop capital punishment, and that fact alone, that she was saved from extinction, makes the ruling worthwhile. Until a year or so ago, keep in mind this book was copyrighted in 1976, she was content to spend her time merely going through the motions, occasionally scribbling some of her thoughts on paper. About a year ago, she was encouraged to send these writings to a friend, who each time came away with his heart in his mouth. She is currently involved in a journalism class and a law course, hoping one day to present her story to the world. PK, a while ago. Eyes double-lidded, round, disappearing whenever a broad smile is formed. Crow's feet then deepening with the seasons. Gray when wearing black, blue when accompanied by denims, a flick of green in the forest. Hunched shoulders despite years of stand-up straight, scoldings from her mother. Stolid steps, thick legs, lithe arms, stubby nails. Once bitten on a daily basis, yet even when not nibbled upon, they fail to grow past the fingertips. Feet, a huge success at obtaining calluses that split, bleed during the barefoot summer months. Toes, incredibly liberated, each one moving of its own volition, each on its own preferred course. Daydreams, the usual worn-out fantasies of love, Sir Lancelot's. Always find older men the most attractive, feeling comfortable in their judgments. Inadequate to the latest styles and newest crazes. At ease in conservative wallpaper prints. Daring on occasion, polished to fake fingernails, flashing a Virginia Slim, coming a long way, baby, that matches a violet or hot pink outfit. Embarrassed at wolf whistles or emphatic compliments delivered by better-looking but superficial people, will then take giant strides to circle the mode block where a return to faded jeans, armored proofs against pseudoism. Indifferent to cities, open to Yosemite. With a heart that pumps a medley to the rhythm of life. A missionary for ecology, horny toads, gopher snakes, an empty lot. Soon to be the site of a new housing project, a block of massive concrete whose annual erosion will not permit the return of scuffed knees. Running fancies, venturous, dangerous. Expeditions into the unknown holes and nests. Tends toward negative thoughts, butts, candy wrappers, playing havoc with the beach sand. An aid to needy squirrels, running to inform them of her Alice in Wonderland scheme. But after the birds take frightened flight, after the squirrels scurry for scary cover, she will pull a weed and say, "Fuck it!" Adores listening to the intellectuals, angry that continued schooling didn't broaden her perspective quickly enough. Sulks in gloomy memories, suppressing meaningful things she wants to say. when finally given the soapbox, cannot alter a stubborn opinion, even if later she will concede to herself that she was wrong. Unafraid of diverse opinions, opposites, though angered because she was unable to size up that another could see her flaws. When she is certain that new acquaintances will never be seen again, she will pull from her imagination, flowering up an event to hide a mundane life. Feels extremely capable of doing anything that any other human could do, but usually has to prepare with a go get before moving forward. Questioning, never afraid to ask, even the most direct questions, oftentimes ones that cannot be answered. Immediately sorry for placing one in such a vulnerable position, eventually realizing, however, that the other's unassurance brings a tiny satisfaction, a knowingness that even kings and queens have bitten their toenails, sucked thumbs, breathed air, wondered who they really were. Sings loudly in a bath or shower, lathering in dreams of Irving Berlin, Caruso, complimenting her vocal discharges. After a thundering accolade from the packed audience at Carnegie Hall, she becomes ecstatic and encores with 5 more rounds of Row, Row, Row Your Boat. Afraid of being forgotten during, after life. Willing to bluff it out as unsensitive souls approach a real woman. Will walk casually into a restroom, huddle in a circle, contemplate suicide, straighten her pants, rub cold water on her face, then return slowly to the world, smiling an excuse for having taken an excessive amount of time to defecate. Loving father, always being his daughter. Loving mother, always being her daughter. Yet, desperately wanting to be her own personality, free of reflective impressions, automatically accepted, unthoughtfully absorbed by the human conditions of a family structure, a universally appropriate monogamistic relationship that forms the marriage institution, whose inevitable grand end is divorce. Finally alone with herself, she will sit puppy-eyed, thinking it might be better were she in a mental facility, building blocks, hanging stuffed teddy bears. She cries at the thought of having had to grow up.